talk about mammograms and breast care and much more with our doctors here, Amy Bremner and Dr. Nicole Lewis from MemorialCare Saddleback Medical Center. I'll get it out. I will get there. I promise you that. Welcome to the program. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Now, both of you are new to this new program that you came into. Tell us a little bit about your backgrounds. Amy, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, so I'm a breast surgical oncologist. I did my undergraduate education at UCSD and then medical school at Georgetown. And did a 5-year residency in general surgery and then a 1-year residency, or excuse me, 1-year fellowship at USC to do just breast surgery.
And Dr. Lewis, yourself?
I'm a breast radiologist. I did my undergraduate work at University of California at Berkeley. I then did my medical degree and training in diagnostic radiology at the George Washington University Hospital in DC, and my fellowship in subspecialty breast imaging at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago.
What made you decide this is the focus you want to go towards? Is there a family story, or is it something you just said this is a need that you see?
No family story, but I think breast imaging is such a unique slice of medicine where we have the ability to impact women throughout their adult lives. And for me, whether it's a new mom who's breastfeeding who has some questions, or detecting a breast cancer at its smallest stage, it's truly a unique opportunity to be part of so many lives, and something that I'm very honored for.
Dr. Bremner, yourself, how did you choose this pathway for yourself?
I always loved women's health, actually. Thought I was going to be an OBGYN. Glad I didn't do that. That's quite the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Great field, but quite the lifestyle. But yeah, I always loved women's health. Did a rotation in general surgery, loved surgery itself, and then ultimately didn't necessarily think I'd be back in women's health, but that led me back to breast surgery, and so I can work with women, same kind of thing, just make a difference. Yeah.
How important it is for a woman to be able to talk to another woman doctor, to maybe feel heard or have that person understand, as opposed to a male? And I'm not trying to say male doctors aren't as good, but there's a certain connection you have, right?
Yeah, I
think that's true. I think some women are very hesitant to have their mammogram for a lot of different reasons, and I think that's one part where being a woman and having that commonality and understanding helps you to understand that hesitation and be able to address it.
Okay. Now, the new Women's Health Pavilion is opened up, and you guys are both stationed over there. How are things working out over there in general? What's it like? And tell us a little bit about the pavilion and what people should expect when they walk in.
I think she moved in. I haven't quite moved in yet. I'm moving in today.
The boxes are
I'm moving in today.
Yeah, she is. We did the breast center, the Sarah and Taylor Niederlander Breast Center just opened officially last Wednesday, October 25th. And so we are all moved in and comfortable in our new space. It's a beautiful new breast center. We offer the latest in technology and breast imaging with 3D mammography, dedicated breast ultrasound. We installed our second dedicated breast MRI unit, and as you can see, it's all in this background of large rooms with lots of natural light and personal touches that we hope make our patients feel really comfortable. Right,
and it's an important part of that, right? To have maybe a patient come in there and feel like this is kind of a holistic approach. We have everybody under one roof that is just hyper-focused on this one area, right? That's an important aspect.
Exactly, and I think we're mostly involved with breast cancer, breast imaging, but the Women's Pavilion is going to house multiple different specialties. So obstetrics and gynecology, they're going to be doing pelvic health as well as pelvic floor rehab. They are going to have breast-dedicated medical oncologists. They're going to have gynecologic oncology. So it's all women's needs are under one roof in a very supportive environment. Feels like a spa. So who wouldn't want to go to a spa?
Who wouldn't want to go to a spa?
Yeah.
But you put on, let's talk about mammograms, because I wouldn't want to go to the spa. I know women want to go. If they're offering mammograms, I'm still not going to the spa, is what most women would say, right? So how has it changed? How are you guys making maybe women more comfortable? And what are the advances in mammography since the old squish test?
Like I said before, we absolutely understand the hesitation to coming and having your mammogram. It's so common and something that we hear all the time, and that's when being at a dedicated breast center really helps, because we can address so many of those concerns. But it is so important, in light of that hesitation, or despite the hesitation, for women to come and have their mammogram every year. We know that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And I think 2 other important things to consider is that breast cancer, we know the occurrence increases with age, and there's no age where breast cancer can't happen.
Right.
And the second thing is that the majority of women that we will diagnose with a breast cancer do not have a family history, and that's something that patients are very surprised about. And so because of those two reasons, we really do encourage women and hope that they'll make the choice to come to the breast center once a year, starting at the age of 40 for their yearly mammogram.
Okay. But like you said, it can happen so much earlier. And like you said, there's so many things. Oh, I don't need to. I'm only in my 20s, or I'm still breastfeeding, or and I don't have no family history. And so I'm sure that what I'm feeling there is nothing. If a woman has a sign, they should, no matter what the age, she should be coming in, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely if you're having a breast complaint, come into the breast center, get it evaluated. The American Society of Breast Surgeons recommends starting mammogram for an average age person at 40, and then continuing on that mammogram. And if you think that you have a life expectancy of 10 years. So we meet a lot of older women that think that they don't need a mammogram because they're, say, 75 or older. But we see plenty of breast cancers in their 90s, and when they're caught early, much easier to treat, get back to your normal life, get back to your golf game, do all the things you want to do.
Now, one thing is that it isn't just radiation if you were diagnosed, or it isn't just surgery when you're diagnosed. So there's also a team approach to that. So how does it work as a team when you guys sit down and say, okay, here's patient X, and they have this? And how does that team approach kind of involve with everybody kind of working together and figuring out what the best approach is and where the treatments are going to happen and when?
Yeah, I mean, I think, treating breast cancer is a multidisciplinary approach. That's how we approach it. And we rely on, first and foremost, our breast radiologists to help us find the cancer and lead us to the cancer and surgery. Secondly, we have medical oncologists, we have radiation oncologists, we have tumor boards that we do every week where we present a case. And so we'll present the patient, the radiologist will present all of the images, the pathologist will present all of the slides. So we're all looking at this one patient's case, getting input from medical oncology, radiation oncology. We talk to other surgeons. So it's a very multidisciplinary approach where we get input from everyone, so we're not just practicing in a vacuum. It's really important.
Right. And I think I would imagine that for the patient, there's a certain sense of security in that. There's a whole team of people taking a look at this and figuring out what the best approach is. And there can be some disagreements in the room exactly what the approach might be. But in the end, I think there's that is that feeling of, okay, we've got something right here. Or there's a confidence when you come back to your patient and say, here's how we're going to start. I talked to the team, and this is what we're doing.
Absolutely. I think that working as a team is so important. None of us will work in a vacuum, and there's so many different ways to approach things, and that's why it's helpful with these tumor boards that we do weekly to discuss and come up with all the different options. I think also important I wanted to mention is that not only coming for your mammogram is important, but the person who's reading your mammogram is really important. And so at our breast center, we have a team of dedicated breast radiologists reading your mammogram. And what that means is throughout my entire career, or any of the doctors that you'll see there, they are solely dedicated to the detection of breast cancer at its smallest. And you want that level of expertise and experience when someone is reading your exam.
Now, I want to make sure we have an older community that watches this program. Is there a certain age where you don't need them anymore? Is that a myth?
No. Well, if you think you have a life expectancy of at least 10 years, you should be in getting your mammograms.
Okay.
So 85, you think you're going to live till 95, people are living older these days. So,
right.
And of course, if you have a complaint, you come in regardless. So.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely.
If there's a problem, it's time to go in, no matter what it might be. All right. So I want to make sure we get the information on there. It's memorialcare.org/women's health for people to get more information about the center and what's going on there, and maybe even be able to see two of you at some point. That would be, I'm sure, a wonderful experience, as long as it's a negative diagnosis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come for a tour.
Yes.
Come for a tour.
Come for a
See
tour.
the place. Terrific. Thank you both for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When we
Thanks
come
for
back-
having us.
Thank you. When we come back, we're going to preview the Monday movie. Stay with us.